Subtitles by Dima Torzok. Win. Subtitles by Dima Torzok. And rain did not interfere.
Thousands of South Korean residents took to the center of Seoul. They want the ousted President Yoon Suk-yeol to return to power. The Constitutional Court approved the impeachment in early April because he illegally imposed martial law in the country. On RBC, the main news, in the studio, Anna Krupina. The first round of negotiations helped bring the views of the U.S. and Iranian delegations closer, stated the Birimi, the foreign minister of Oman. The country acts as a mediator. The second meeting will take place on April 19th, also in Oman, said Iran's foreign minister Abbas Araghchi. According to him, today's consultations were calm and constructive. The discussions included Iran's nuclear program and sanctions against the country. According to the foreign minister, Tehran and Washington will discuss the general framework of a possible agreement next week. The U.S. negotiator is the president's special envoy, Steve Witkoff. He stated the day before that the U.S. intends to achieve the dismantling of Iran's nuclear program. Witkoff said that Washington is ready to make compromises with Tehran. According to Donald Trump, he wants Iran to be a great country, but without nuclear weapons. The dialogue between Russia and the U.S. is proceeding without dictation and preconditions. Washington understands the necessity of resolving territorial issues in Ukraine for long-term settlement. This was stated by Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov at the Antalya Diplomatic Forum.
Her Assange chess with her tea. There is nothing wrong with Russia and the U.S. having good relations. What is happening between us and the Trump administration is essentially quite mundane. The countries are talking to each other without dictating anything to one another, without demanding any preconditions. They are simply talking. We will see what joint projects we can discuss and implement together. This was an initiative by the Americans. We have never rejected initiatives for cooperation in the economy in conflict resolution.
According to Lavrov, there is potential for further positive steps in Russian-American relations. As the minister said, Russia and the USA are discussing the normalization of relations, including the conditions for the operation of the embassies of the two countries and the restoration of the visa issuance process so that it does not take years. This particularly concerns documents for diplomats who are sent to events at the UN headquarters in New York. The USA has excluded electronics from the mirror tariffs on imported goods, according to a document from the U.S. Customs and Border Protection. According to the list, smartphones, laptops, tablets, computer processors, and other popular consumer electronics will be exempt from tariffs. As a rule, they are not manufactured in the USA. Machines used for semiconductor production will also not be subject to the new tariffs. The exemption applies with one number starting from April 5th. Thus, the Trump administration is trying to protect consumers from a sharp rise in prices, writes Bloomberg. Major electronics manufacturers such as Apple and Samsung will benefit from this. According to experts, moving Apple's production to the USA could have led to an increase in smartphone prices from $1,000 to $3,500. The United States may grant some countries an exemption from retaliatory trade tariffs, but not below the minimum, 10%, stated U.S. President Donald Trump. Trump hopes that the disagreements with China over tariffs, which the countries have been mutually increasing for the second week, will be resolved. U.S. tariffs on Chinese imports have reached 145%. In response, Beijing raised tariffs to 125%. China expects negative consequences if the country continues to take countermeasures, stated the White House. Chinese authorities responded that they will fight to the end. China's countermeasures are aimed not only at protecting the country's interests, but also at defending international justice, noted the Ministry of Commerce of China. They called on WTO member countries to unite against U.S. protectionism and the suppression of open trade. Hoteliers in Anapa have reduced accommodation prices in June by 20–30% compared to the same period last year. As the president of the Russian Union of the Travel Industry, Ilya Umansky said, they are lowering prices because they are concerned about the success of the resort season
due to the situation with fuel oil.
It reached the coast of the Krasnodar region in December last year as a result of the collision of two tankers. According to Umansky, lowering prices for July and August is pointless since there is no demand yet. Meanwhile, hotel occupancy for the May holidays is already good.
These were the main news. Stay tuned to RBC.